giving and receiving are one. I don't want to give anything other than love, joy, and peace and happiness because that's what I want to receive.
Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, to create massive awakened impact for millions of souls around the planet, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman. And welcome everybody to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. I'm so grateful to have you here today. I've got an amazing guest today. Wow. So JClay is, you'll find him on Spotify and YouTube and everything. And ever since I found out about him, I've been following him on YouTube, and he's got just really beautiful messages. He's not just a music guy, he's obviously. So he's does life coaching, and he's got a lot of deep wisdom, beautiful truths, and love to share with you. I would say big thing I feel from him all the time is a sense of the love that's in there that radiates through him. And yeah, I really feel you'll just feel uplifted through this time together. Plus, I'm gonna coach him, or I'm gonna see what I can do to help him to forward his business. So I'm doing some energy scanning and also a little bit of coaching to help him to take those next steps. So, JClay, you're a star. Your spiritual rap is really good. So it's quite good. Of course, there's always certain songs that hit more than others for people, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, one of them I remember really did. I don't, like visibly cry, but like the tear behind the eye, kind of comes up. You're like, oh, that really hit. Like,
Yeah.
so you've got a real way with what you do. So I'm so grateful to have you on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited. I'm excited.
Okay, so we're talking about first. I mean, you work a lot with thoughts and words with your rap, even. If we just even go there, I mean, I think it's fun the way you free flow. That's how I see it with rap, right? We kind of free flowing with our thoughts and rhythm. I don't know, you do it, so I don't want to try to
Yeah.
describe, but I remember I went to an event where they asked us to do basically a rap. You know how to do rap, just make it up, and even if it's bad, doesn't matter. Just make it up, right? So we had fun doing that. So I got that experience at least of just having fun playing around for a little while with it, and so yeah, but it's very cool, the mastery and the artistry you brought into your work to impact people's lives through music, right? And the way that can settle into someone's energy, right? And their nervous system, everything can really be powerful and really maybe make a difference in people's lives they don't even realize, right? Like there's things sinking into us through music and all different mediums all day long. And I think sometimes we're not fully aware of like how much it's affecting us and positively, negatively. And so I really appreciate the impact your work is having. Um, but yet you were a NASA engineer to start with. So let's start there. So tell us about what took you from going down that road to doing what you're doing today.
Yeah. So, okay, technically, I was always doing music, and NASA was just kind of that way to make money and fund everything. Like,
Hmm.
I was always good at math and science in school, so everyone was like, "You can't go to school for music because there's no money there. You need to, get a good job, and you can have that as your backup." But what I know now is that I probably should have. I don't regret it at all, but I probably should have just done music straight through, just because well, actually, I mean, there was a lesson in that too. How you do anything is how you do everything. And while I was there, I was kind of half doing that and giving a lot of attention to music. And I was split. I had the split focus, and so I was leading that double life. I was tired most times, but I was young then, so I mean, I'm still pretty young now, but then I didn't need as much sleep. Just other things, but yeah. So I was working at NASA for a while, and I came across a book called A Course in Miracles. Now, for those that are unfamiliar with the Course in Miracles, it's said to be channeled by Jesus, and it's a very high level reading book. Like it's not an easy read at all. Meaning you probably have to read the same line over and over again. It's concepts that you can understand, but to know it and live it, it's almost like a reversal of how you've always been living. It talks heavily on forgiveness. It speaks about the oneness of us all, how giving and receiving are one, our teaching and learning are one, just all these other concepts. And once I started to understand it, I knew I couldn't live life the same way again. Like it was the missing pieces to everything I've always wanted to know. Like even I'll say even I had a strong relationship with God growing up, even though my family wasn't necessarily a church going family, but I always had that relationship there. And then when I was ready to learn more about God, I started with the Bible. I would read it cover to cover multiple times. I had certain theories that came from it, but I just wasn't sure if it was truth or not. I still had many questions, many things I didn't understand. And like I said, like A Course in Miracles, it filled that missing puzzle piece where everything made sense. And so, for example, I had songs that were complete, that were great songs that I felt could have been monster hits, but I couldn't release them because I realized that it would be sowing the seeds of maybe doubt in others. It wasn't fully intended to be helpful to all. And I didn't want to learn those lessons. You know what I mean? Like giving and receiving are one. I don't want to give anything other than love, joy, and peace and happiness because that's what I want to receive. And so I had to be willing to let those songs go and make room for new ones. And it wasn't a simple process of I'm just gonna make music. I'm just gonna quit my job. It was a process. Like the I will say, to keep the story kind of short, that final year, I was applying the principles I learned from A Course in Miracles. I was showing up to work in my happiest. Normally, I dreaded like, "Oh, I don't want to go to work today. Here we go." But I was being my best self. I was being as helpful as I possibly could, doing all my work, being an example, mentoring the younger students that were coming in, getting more responsibility, all kinds of stuff. And then it just so happened that because of that energy, the stars aligned, and there was a window for me to be able to quit and try to do my own thing finally, which I had been trying to do the whole 14 years I had been there.
Hmm. Wow. So, was it more of a leap of faith, though? I mean, or,
Yeah, so it was. I feel like I don't want to say God tricked me because that's not the right terms, but like sometimes you get a piece of the picture but it's only to get you to pivot. But that doesn't mean you're going to do that. So at the time, my friend and I, we have a company called Every Child Wins. And with that company, we create songs for kids so they can learn easily because you can memorize anything easily through song. And
hmm
so we were seeing a lot of success with that. We were like we got sponsored by United Way. We did events for them. We did events for like public libraries, school systems, and things. And we got a lot of success while still working. And so I was thinking, well, if we're getting this while I'm working, if I quit, I can do this full time, and I'll be all right. So like that kind of showed up, and I actually went. I did that, and I had enough reserve money finally saved up to be able to do it. But once I quit, I got more heavily into this. I was helping more people, more things were coming out, and I was like, everybody's helping the kids. I mean, I still do Every Child Wins to an extent, but I just knew that not enough people are helping the adults. People think that adults are far gone. Like once they learn something and they're set in their ways, that's it for them. There's no redeeming. I don't believe that at all. And I really wanted to bring this music out, especially since the adults influence the kids. And so I was like, well, this is a win-win for everybody. And it just kind of continued and blossomed from there.
Mm. Oh, nice. So, I mean, so basically, you were inspired. That's how I hear it ultimately.
Yeah.
You were inspired. You saw like an opportunity and you trusted that, and so if we call that a trick, I guess, but like your own sense of like this is the direction I want to go or I should be going or whatever came over you and took you down that pathway and how beautiful to be thinking about how you can impact youth and all that as well. Um, so yeah, so let's talk about like the Course of Miracles. Like that's really cool. I've studied the Course of Miracles a little bit over the years. It's really weird, maybe, because when I think about it, because I do channel Jesus and I've done that for a long time, but I never bothered to really go through that book in depth. I don't even own the book. But I've had it, I've been in study groups and stuff in the past with it. But um So, but yeah, I know. I mean, I'm familiar with some of the, the lingo and stuff that's in there. One that always stuck with me is your safety lies in your defenselessness. And I could have used, I should have reminded myself of that earlier this afternoon because I got a little too defensive. I think, how it is. Someone's pressing on you, like, yeah, you accuse you or something or whatever. And you're like, depending on who it is, right? Like sometimes it's like, so I'm like, but if I had to remember it, my safety lies in my defenselessness, man, it would have been way better. So yeah, so maybe it's time for me to go ahead and get a copy. I think.
What's interesting about like especially that quote is like I like to dive into why it works,
Right.
and essentially, as we know, the mind controls the body, but we control our mind, and so really our only limitations are those that we set for ourselves. So whenever we put up a defense, we are believing that we're weak and that we can be hurt. And so like it actually does the opposite of what we want it to do. But if we know that we are always safe, we're always fine, there is no need to put up defenses and things will work out where you will be all right. Have experienced this firsthand. But to experience it, it was a leap of faith because I understood it. I didn't know it. And then once I stepped into the experience, I knew it and I know it to be 100% true.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and of course you would be that way because you're an engineer type, so you're definitely going to be thinking about why is that true? From that side, I was just reading a book where they're talking about the Tao and stuff, and the guy was saying I didn't understand the Tao when I first started reading it because he was still in his head, right? So, and he did a lot of spiritual work, and he's like, then I finally, after all doing all these things, I walked for 3 years in the forest or whatever, this or that. And I finally understood the Tao. I thought that was funny because it's those like koans and so things like that, things that are don't make sense to the mind. It's a phrase or something like, "How do you attain enlightenment on the freeway or whatever?" Like, well, I know. Then the seeker students say, "I know." They're all smiles, right? I know the answer actually. It's because you get calm and peaceful, and then you'll attain alignment on the freeway. No, that's not the right answer. Like, so I think that's so what's so fun is your best answer is not to even try to answer. So like,
Yeah.
and just, I would just probably the best response is like, good question. Like,
Right. You just or you can allow a higher energy or power to answer through you.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, because when I do channeling, for example, I know like a lot of times the answers don't logically always, they do make some logical sense, but other ways, you don't know what the heck they're talking. It's all metaphor, basically. You are like a rose petal. You will open when you're ready, or whatever. Like, okay, there's logic, but then, what do you mean I'm a rose petal? What are you talking about? Like, how's that
Well,
got to do with my marriage or whatever? Like, or whatever it is, whatever the thing is that the person's dealing with. But of course, people are open, get it, right? But I think it's pretty interesting. So, what do you feel are like from the Course of Miracles, for example? What are some of the like top things you feel you've learned from that?
so one based on what you were just saying about channeling. So I used to shy away or run away from the hard conversations, or like when somebody had sad news or something, I would sense it and just go the other way because I didn't know what to say to them, how to handle it. Now I tap into the Holy Spirit, and what A Course in Miracles teaches is that we all share the Holy Spirit. Like the Holy Spirit is within all of us, and when we connect to it, and we speak from the place of the Holy Spirit, I whatever I say, I can say it in such a way that you will receive what you need to receive from it. And so like I've had instances where I agreed with what it told me to say and I said it. I had instances where I didn't agree and I was scared to say it, and sometimes I didn't. But when I did, again, 100% of the time, it was exactly what they needed to hear, and they were very thankful. Even times I thought I would get slapped by saying this to them, like I can't say this to them, like no, say it, and then I would just listen and say it, and it would be clear. So one, it helped me to know that we are never alone. Help is always here. We can just pause for a second, go within. I also realized again, like the oneness of it all. like how I said, teaching and learning are one. You when you teach something, you have to know it. You have to have learned it well enough to be able to teach it. And if you're learning something, you should learn it so well that you could teach it. It's and the same with giving and receiving. It's instant. We think that when we give something, we lose it. No, when we give it, we have more of it to give, to have. We have more because if you look at it, it's like everything you do, you're planting seeds in your environment around you, and those seeds are going to blossom and grow. And if you're giving it seeds of sadness, of deceitfulness, and all this other stuff, you're not going to like what you see. But if you're always giving it love, you're going to see a loving environment all around you, and it just gets more and more beautiful.
Right, right. To give what you want to receive. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure we all have occurrences on a regular basis here and there. They're like, why did I give that? That wasn't so good. I don't like the feeling of that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the good thing is all, just come back. I would just say whatever it is, we feel you've veered off, just come back to center as soon as you can anyway. And it's like start again, right? Like take the breath. Okay, start again.
And that really does work.
Do you want to meditate and make money? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free meditate, make money meditation today. So cool. And then as far as, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that going on in the world and our lives, and there's a lot of conversations about what the realities are. But don't you understand the economy, JClay? We got a big war and all the big prices are coming up and probably all going to be in a recession and canceled, by the way. But yeah, but like, or whatever it is, there's always a discussion about what the real reality is. Like, so somebody knows what that is, but um, in full, you know what I mean? But so, so how do you when you are trying to help people with that in your life and whatnot and others that you're trying to help, like how do you handle that when they say, well, don't you realize blah blah blah? They're trying to sell you on their story or their reality. How do you deal with that?
Yeah, so it's a few ways because again it depends. I try to be in the moment and not bring anything from the past into it and tune in and listen. But one of the things I like to do is bring them back in because the world is a projection out, and the further out you go, in a sense, the more not necessarily rooted in truth you are, unless your inner is aligned with truth. Like, because again, it could be an extension of love or a projection of fear. And so when I bring people in more, I help them get in touch with their purpose. Like, okay, why are you here? What are you here to do? How are you here to be helpful, or what do you enjoy doing? And when they take that shift in mindset toward that, they start to see how right certain things are. How even in these times, what they're here for is prime for this time right now. How they can be of so much service, but helpful service, not service where you feel like you're drained and people are taking advantage of you. No, service where it fulfills you. You're getting as much energy as you're putting out, and sometimes it just takes that shift to like, no, start looking at this. Don't worry about that over there. That's taking care of itself. As you can see, you are safe right now. You are taken care of. You are here. You probably just ate. You probably have a place to stay right now. You're good. What's going on over there? It's working itself out. And when your paths cross, it'll be for a reason. But just make sure you're ready for that reason now. And again, I bring them back to that inner, and it changes things because one, you can't be in a state of fear and love at the same time. It's just impossible. You have to choose one or another. Sometimes people can bounce back and forth very quickly, but you're technically choosing one. And the faster and the more you choose that love, the more that you see. And even in saying that, I'm sure everybody can relate to speaking to someone that they may be judged against before and realize this is a great person. This is I judged them because of XYZ, but they are very great. And that's essentially what we're doing to the world and those people in it when they are also just doing the best that they can.
Right, right. Yeah, well, I love that. Yeah, that's a big thing, right? I mean, that's one of the most core probably teaching of the courses. You're either in love or fear. There's only two emotions, love or fear. Choose wisely. And I think sometimes we need that sort of simplicity. I mean, sometimes getting into, wait a minute, it's not always just the two or whatever. And it's like, But really, like when you start getting into what about joy? Is that love then, or like the mind, right? Could really dig into that one and wonder if how about ambivalence? That's not fear or love, or like can really go all around. But generally speaking, right, we do have that choice to go into reactivity or fear, or to go into higher consciousness, love, or maybe even elevated states that we might say are beyond love if you look at the power versus force charts and stuff. But like, yeah, we have the opportunity to be that love again and again, and do it. I think the motto four agreements, right? All these different teachings, just to do your best. You're not gonna always choose love. You're gonna choose fear every day, probably at times, at moments. And just do your best to come back to the love, because honestly, that's what actually matters ultimately to me. It's like it's the love that we are living as and from and connecting from that makes all the difference in really the quality of our lives. I mean, for us, much less for everybody else. Like it of course is good for everybody. But like I'm just saying, like if we're not in love, like that's where you start really like nothing matters, because like you could have everything else, but if you don't have love, you're gonna feel like right, you're not gonna feel very good. So yeah, I think that's so brilliant.
Thank you. It's so true. Like, and it's so simple. It's so true, and it's so simple. And we know this, like, because we all come from love. We are love made manifest, but we forget sometimes, and that's where that fear comes in, that forgetfulness. And but we've also forgot how powerful we are. We forget our origins, how we can reach past all limitations, how we can shine away all the darkness, outlove all the hate, all this other stuff. And we start to believe more in the negative than the positive. Like people say, no, I can't be around them because they're gonna bring me down. They're toxic. But what about you bringing them up? Like you can shine away the darkness where they will naturally rise up because they're no longer weighed down by what they thought was weighing them down.
Right, yeah, that was a good I appreciated that video you put out not too long ago. You talked about that. There's this idea the five people you're around, you're going to become like them. I think you might have put it that way. But you talked about like this idea, get rid of the low vibe, get rid of those people and everything. And you were like, well, wait a minute, actually, you had another perspective on it. I don't remember, I want to quote you because I don't remember it strongly enough to get it right, but like it was along the lines of what you're saying right now. It's like I have some extremely low vibration people that, that come around, and let me put it that way. I never know when they might be listening to my shows, so But no, it's not you, by the way. Like whoever's listening, but like, God bless them. They don't mean to be low vibe. They just that's where they're at, and so. But yeah, you love them. You love them anyway, and sometimes, I think people might question, like, well, do everything you can to stay away from them. I'm like, yeah, well, I do keep my boundaries. I'm not going to try to spend as much time as possible with them necessarily, at least from my perspective. Some people would say do that, right? Like, then they need more love. They could you go all the way, right? But like for me, it's just like, okay, then I have more guardrails around it, more boundaries. But there's somebody that's important to me. I'm still going to show up with them no matter what they do. They tell me you're the worst thing that ever happened. I might run away for a minute, but like I'm gonna come right back. I'm gonna be like, no, wait a minute. Okay, I understand. Maybe you're triggered. Maybe I'm gonna try to sort it out. That's just how I am. And so I think like you're gonna miss out on all that if you just cut out everybody that's you're negative. All right, I'm out of here. Like it's like not willing to address maybe some of the negativity that may be in you too. Like to bring love and compassion to that aspect of our humanity is how I kind of see it on my side anyway.
Yeah. And the funny thing is like everything's a mirror. So the thing that we accuse the other person of, we're usually being that to that person. Like
Right.
you're negative. Well, we're being negative to
Right.
them,
Right.
and we don't even
Boy,
realize
you're
it.
so negative. That is hilarious when you think about it. The minute you call someone negative, you're being negative.
Yeah. Like even bullies. I want to teach this bully a lesson. I want to make them hurt. Well, you're being a bully to this bully,
Right.
like
Oh, I see someone whoop his ass. Like,
yeah.
because he's whipping other people's ass. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Yeah, I just, with the things going on, yeah, with the world, I'm like, uh, like for just, yeah, I will mention the war thing or whatever. I'm just like, I just want there to be love. I just want the conflict to end. I don't want to. Well, the Iranians are clearly at fault for this because not America has been the perpetrator forever. I don't want to be any people. What side are you on? I'm like, you're not picking sides and you're with the devil or what. I don't know. You almost that bad. Some people think like this. I'm not picking sides because the side I'm on is for love and peace. That's what side I'm on. It's whatever helps to reckon. That's the foundation. Then we can have all the other conversations. Man, would it be a little bit better to be like this or like that with our views or our policies and politics and this and that and everything? Okay, let's talk about it from there. But if we don't have, yeah, if we don't have love and peace, then we're really lost. It's really hard to be intelligent and coherent, truly more intelligent and coherent, uh, not in a mental sense, but in, or, infinite intelligence sense, I guess, if we're thrown all over the place. So,
Yeah. And even with that, like it's very easy to be peaceful with peaceful people, but like to
right,
truly be peaceful, we have to be able to be peaceful with those who want to war with us, those
right,
who who are not bringing that. But even more importantly, it's important that we be peaceful with ourselves, because I know sometimes we'll get mad at ourselves or feel guilt or feel bad about something we think we did or may have accidentally did when we were still learning. And we have to learn to just be okay with ourselves. Like, okay, we made that decision. It is what it is. I learn something from it, and okay, I'm gonna do better from now on, from this moment on, and just accept that. And then the peace that you have within is gonna radiate out, so that as you get closer to those who may be at war, they feel your peace, and they're like, you know what, I don't want to fight anymore.
right, right. Yeah, I mean, there's examples of this that have happened. I mean, I always think about the cases I've heard where again, it's nobody. Don't take this the wrong way, guys. I hope you hear this with the right ears. But like women that have had men come after them, right, and about to rape them or something, all of a sudden they just send them love and like they just run away, like they can't even do it then. Like, but if you're in fear and everything, they're like, "Oh, all right, you're afraid. All right, that works for me too. I'm afraid too. Really, they really are, whether they realize it or not. They're really in fear.
Yeah,
Because yeah, I mean. So, but if we actually send love to things, all of a sudden, like, yeah, like the thing can't happen anymore. So when we get these news cycles, we get all worked up and everything. We're just, I think people are waking up to this. We're just adding to it, like in a sense. Like, again, I'm not saying don't read the news. Like, I think I'll go with what I heard Beckwith say one, Michael Beckwith, right? But he says they're all prayer requests, right? Like, I mean, that's really what it is. We hear the news come in, it's a prayer request. So if we can take it more that way, rather than get all caught up in it, I think we do way better, on a personal level and a collective level too.
right. And also, there are things that we just don't know. Like, a lot of times people want certain things out of their lives. Some people like
Right.
the conflict. Some people like the war.
Yeah.
Like some people don't think their life is worth living unless there's constant conflict. And so then when we see the effects of that, we think that it can happen to us. But no, we don't know their purpose. We don't know their intention. So there's no point in us even trying to judge what was going on in their life. But like you said, all we can do is show love, so that if they do want to change, we can show them that there's a new way.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's so good, JClay. That, like I said, I wish we had this conversation a couple of hours ago. That might have been good, but I mean, life happens. Life shows up, and we're just doing the best we can, each of us, I guess. And we're gonna get defensive. We're gonna get agitated or whatever. Um, yeah, I wouldn't have thought I was in fear at the time that it was happening, but it's more of defensiveness is how I would look at it based on what was coming at me. I'm like, well, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. And I could justify everything I said, but I just know and I know there was a better way to handle it. But that's the harsh grader I am with that stuff. I gotta give myself a little more compassion. Like, but I know I could have handled that better. Darn it.
But just you knowing that is a step in the right direction.
Right, 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 right. That's about the best you can do sometimes. Just realize you could do better. So and then just try to do better next time if you can. Keep working on it. So no, that was really awesome. I really love what you had to share. And so tell me about just briefly, a client or somebody you've helped, they come to you and they're like, there's just no way this is going to work out, or there's something so bad going on, I can't deal with it. Can you tell us an example of how you helped somebody through like one of these scenarios where they just like, you know what, this is, I'm just at a loss, and then you were able to bring them clarification and things changed for them.
Yeah, so it's a few tools that I like to use. One of the main thing is one, getting them to kind of quiet their mind, even if for a few minutes, because when you quiet your mind, you can receive that higher guidance. And often it's not like for me to say, hey, you have to do it my way or this way. It's like, no, listen to your inner guidance. And if you can listen to that and always listen to that, you will always be in the right place at the right time, experiencing exactly what you need or want and all of this. So, but one of the tools I use for that is a forgiveness exercise. And one of these forgiveness exercises is simple, where you sit quietly, you relax everything from head to toe. And again, it may take 5 to 10 minutes to relax everything, but when you do it often, it can be done in 30 seconds. So once you do that, fill your heart with love. And one way to do that is to imagine or envision someone you greatly love or admire, or even your baby self. Like imagine yourself as a baby and your eyes are closed, you're in meditation,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
feel the love, and you will feel that love, and you expand it, radiate it, and surround that person in it, and even raise them up to kind of like between your third eye, where you're holding them inside of that bright light. And while you're there and while you're comfortable, remind yourself you're in a safe place. You have divine love with you, divine guidance with you, and then you switch out that person, that baby self, for whoever it is that you want to forgive. And you can go in with a preconceived person, but oftentimes someone, the right person, will jump in there that needs to, and you just sit in there with them with that love, with that pure love, and maybe 2 to 5 minutes. And when you're ready, you gently place the light down, you thank them, and then you come out of the meditation. And so with that, I have found that I've had people call me maybe within a day to apologize to something that that was done to me. Well, I don't feel like it was done to me now, but then I did, which is why I did the exercise. And I was just shocked. Like I didn't call them, I didn't talk to them at all. And then oftentimes it would just make me feel more comfortable around a person or situation, which then breaks that energy down so that they feel more comfortable to you. They can talk, you can talk it through, whatever it was, and you realize, oh, it was nothing big holding us apart. And sometimes though it'll be even more clear where it's like, okay, this person served this purpose, but I'm not meant to be around them, which is okay too. But
Mm-hmm.
it's important that you let go of that energy, because that energy that you hold, you always have. And then I'll share one more tool that I like to use. I mean, there's plenty, but another one is for 7 days, no complaints. Don't think
Yeah.
them, don't say them. I mean, you're gonna naturally think them if you're used to doing it. But once you
Yeah.
do, stop yourself and say,
Right.
okay, I'm gonna do better from now on. And what you'll
Right.
find after that 7 days is that life is just better. You won't even understand why. Like, why is life so much better? But it's because you're not naming all the bad things all the time. You're not, since you're not looking for what's wrong, it allows for what's right to be visible.
Right. Yeah, that's it's great. Great. I forget the name of the guy. It's on the tip of my tongue, Guan or something like that. The guy with the No Complaint World or something. He wearing wristbands and stuff. Well, this was a movement that was going on. This took a bit. 20, maybe it's a 15, 20 years ago. It's a while back, 20, maybe closer to 20. And I remember wearing the band and everything. It's a great reminder though, because like that's essentially what creates all the issues too. Is also another way of looking at it. It's just a complaint, right? Oh my God. All right. All right. Man, I don't know. I've had a long week. I got to do this one more interview. Like, I could look at it that way if I want. There's a part of your brain that could think of it that way, right? But then again, I love doing that. I mean, that's why I do these. I love doing that. I'm the one schedules it on Friday at the end of the week. So why would I be complaining? But yet the mind could always complain about everything.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and then I got to deal with this tonight, and then I got that to, I got so much more work to do as well. That's all complaining. It's all complaining, and it's doing me no good but draining my energy more, right? When if I go there, so like to be like, oh wow, look at all the stuff I get to do, and wow, I wonder how that'll unfold. Like, wow, that'll be juicy if that gets to be challenging for me tonight with that situation or what. I can't I can't wait for it because I know love will ultimately deepen and emanate through it because that's what I'm deciding about that or whatever. Like just like you start to see solutions when you stop complaining, right?
Yeah, and they're
Yeah.
everywhere.
So let's talk more about how you help people with your work. And of course, there's all the spiritual rap, which again, it truly is. It's good. I mean, I am not. I can't, especially with music. I can't just say, well, it's good, and then I don't think it's good at all. Like I'll be like, yeah, it's pretty cool. You're doing the music. I'd probably say it a different way, but like it's good.
Thank you.
He's got real talent for it, and so you definitely want to check it out. Check it out on Spotify. I think Let Go is one of the more popular ones you have, right?
Yeah,
Definitely check that one out, for example. That'll get you started. Good starter one.
yeah.
And so, but you've got the music that you do, and I know I think you've got, you said you had a new album coming up you're
Well, yeah.
making?
Well, I actually just released a new album called
Oh,
"It Just Feels Good," but I do have another one coming up at the end of the year.
oh, okay, right. Okay. Maybe that's the one I'm thinking of. Okay. And so people would know about that. And then as far as like I know you do speaking and then you also want to do more with the life coaching. So tell me more about your other offerings, things you offer right now as we get into doing the scanning and tuning in and helping you with your business. Yeah.
Yeah. So right now, I kind of want to focus more on life coaching. I have a few people that I kind of unofficially coach, but the more I get into it, the more helpful I see that I can be, and I can just see certain things and understand certain things in people. But of course, it's I won't just come out and tell them, especially if we don't have that type of relationship, because it's not my intent to disrupt someone's lives. But if they are ready to get to go to the next happiest level, I would say like the next level of joy wherever they're at, even if they're at the lowest of the low or mid or wherever. I help them go to that next level and be able to tune in to their guidance system so that they're always guided. Like they're never out there by themselves. They have a proven way to check in and know, okay, is this right for me? Should I make this decision or not? I mean, of course they should make the decision, but should I make the decision to do this or not?
Okay. Um, so and you do that through the one-to-one
Correct.
support?
One on one.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. And then do you utilize sessions or do they just contact you? Is it both? Is it emails? Is it, what's included in that? Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm putting together a 12-week program. So it would be 12 weeks, 90-minute sessions once a week. But in between, they'll have access to me via voice notes, voice messages for anything that comes up. And it's designed to again to get them to that quiet space where, like for example, I'm mostly without thought, and that was not. I wouldn't say that it's simple, but it's not easy. And there was a time when I would constantly think thoughts, and then I would through meditation. Eventually, I would get to a place of quiet, but it would come back when I was outside of meditation. But now, like I'm at a place with no thought, and when you're at that place of no thought, not only can inspiration flow in easier, like the true voice, the voice of truth can be heard clearly. Like like, okay, this is a real message. This is not, just a random thought. This is a real message that I need to follow. And I help people get to that point.
Oh, wow. Wow, that's really powerful. Yeah. Well, I guess if you were to classify something as enlightenment, that might be it, right? To get to the place of no thoughts. But what about positive thinking? Yeah. I always used to laugh about. I mean, positive thinking is really. I think it's like it's everything. It all depends, on some stuff too. Like the idea of no thought. Like, yeah, it's more efficient because there is still thought happening because it's just your divine mind that's speaking to you, really, more so, right? So you have a sense of stillness, but also then divine mind is like, right? And so we get that coming in, but so that's where the joy and the efficiency and the no problems, kind of energy
But
flows from as well, right?
right, but so there's a difference between positive thought and intentional thought. So like
Hmm.
positive thought is kind of based on judgment. And a lot of times when we start to even judge things as good, which you can say
Hmm.
is positive, we confuse ourselves into believing that we are the absolute authority of this world. Like it's like we give us power that we never meant to have. Like we're judging every situation like we think we truly know enough to judge it. Like, but truly for us to judge a situation, we would have to know everything about its past, everything about its future, everything about it from a high level, which we don't. We barely know that about ourselves. And so
Hmm.
to even delude ourselves into believing that we can judge something is leading to that depressed state in a certain way just because we're like, well, I know all this stuff. How come I still feeling
Right.
like this? Right.
Right.
And so when we stop even judging things as positive, we realize reality doesn't need our judgment for it to for it to work on our behalf. And so when I say intentional thought is like, oh, I'm choosing to be happy in this space. I'm choosing
Hmm.
to extend love in this space. And that's not necessarily judgment, it's just saying this is the energy that I'm tapping into that I want to live at in this moment.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. Yeah, because I used to say like, well, a positive thought's at least better than negative thinking, right? So yeah, because it is sort of that thing. Like this, the way I've explained it before is when I would lead a silent meditation retreat. I'm like, and again, that's when I had that hat on, right? Like in those truths. But like, I think there's many different truths, but in my opinion, is in a sense. But I'm like, well, you know. The downside of positive thinking is for every positive thought, and the exact opposite is there's a negative thought that's hiding right underneath it. Like, no, this is good. This is really good. Thank God it's good. Oh my God, it's good. It's good. It's like, because so many other bad things. So we have this is something good, right? So I think that's what goes on for a lot of us with the positive and negative stuff. It's so whereas more intentionally, it can still be clear and still just have like people might call it positive thinking still, right? But like have a clear intention around something unfolding or just I kind of hear the difference in that, the differential.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, and it makes life easier. So like you can still say that, how do I say this? So like if something happens that normally someone would judge as bad, you can say, no, this happened for a reason. Like I trust
Right.
the
Right.
unfolding of this. So you're still
Right.
not giving it judgment. You're just saying, I intend to experience this as as a positive thing. Well, I guess that is positive in a way, but you're intending to have it that instead of just saying this is
Right.
positive or this is negative. Like it's you're not definitive in that nature. You're just saying, hey, this is what I want out of life.
Right. 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 Yeah, maybe more declarative a bit, or yeah, just being clear. Okay, cool. So you do this one-to-one program, and then you're launching it now. So what I know you're a no I'm just joking with you. I know you're a no thought guy, but what have your thoughts been about, how you're gonna your divine thoughts maybe around how this wants to unfold in terms of people coming into this particular program? How are they gonna learn about I mean, they're gonna learn about you here, right? Places
Yeah.
like this, but what are some of your plans that you have or intentions around that? So
So it's funny because well, one, I have no idea. Two,
right.
the first person I told about this because I was like, how do I go about this? And then something said, hey, go talk to so and so. And when I told her about it, she was like, um, she what was it? I had lent her $100 because something happened with her bank, and she said, "Well, I could pay you back, but since you told me this, I can make you a nice brochure with blah blah blah." I was like, "Yeah, I would love that," and she really did. She helped me flesh out more of the
Yeah.
program. So, like, I love how it things just unfold naturally. Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm okay with not knowing, but I know the next step will come. Like maybe you may offer the next step of
Right.
where to go from
Right.
here.
Who knows? I could have been tuning in here, but yeah, I was just curious what's been in the field so far. What brochures I can do podcasts and there's many different ways it could go, right? So I
Yeah,
guess your previous self would have been thinking about this to the nth degree, probably, or like a scientist engineer would, right?
right. And it would have stopped
Let's
me
it.
because it was like, oh, it's too big, it's too much. I can't do this. But now it's like
Yeah.
it's unfolding. Well, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but go ahead. Yeah,
No, 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 no. That's good. No, that's what I find. People go from one pole to the other too in life, right? Like the other night I was in a group teaching them about tuning in and stuff and scanning people's energy. I'm like, one of the people I said, so what are you going to do next with this now that you kind of know some of the basics of how to do this? She says, I don't know, I'm just gonna flow with it, see where it guides me, and what wants to happen, and I'm not gonna have a 10-step plan. And without her saying, I'm like, yeah, you're a corporate burnout, probably. It's just like that's what people have been like done plans a million times, or whatever. Well, I don't know if it's corporate for sure, but like something like that. Like she did the big plans before. Now she's like, no plans, no plans, and like, and neither thing is really true. And I sense there may be something up to that with you. Is why I'm bringing it up too. I feel like, okay, these thoughts are driving me nuts, like they work for me, then they didn't work for me, and so like just no thoughts, like that's totally awake, let's be totally enlightened. But then we find the limitations in anything. Like it's about constant evolution in a sense. Like, so I'm not like not gonna be the guy coming in to be like, okay, my coaching for you is to think like crazy right now, but you might want to do more thinking than you normally would do on most things about certain things, right? Like, okay, because you're good at that. You're a really good thinker. Like, so, okay, I need to start thinking about this. Like, this is something to use that, you've heard all this stuff, practical mind and all that. Like, I need to use my practical mind on this, though, right? I need to do that, not the noise, right? But like using the practical mind. But I think sometimes we take it to such an extreme, we even cut out practical mind. No, no practical mind either. Screw that.
And I will say to your point, like by me saying I'm no thought, it doesn't mean that no thoughts flow, but it means that like
Right, right.
when I don't want them to flow, they don't have to. So I'll
Right, right,
definitely
right.
think about this. I
Good, good,
definitely
good.
step into the space where okay, I'm doing this. What does this look
Right,
like? How do I
right,
continue to acquire
right,
clients and things? And even
right.
even to give you an answer, like my loose plan is I have a retreat coming up in a couple of weeks. I'm gonna
Nice.
make sure I have an offering in there to all the participants if they want to partake in this. I'm also gonna put myself on a couple more profiles online just to to attract certain things and see what's out there. But also, in the loose plan that I make, I don't want it to be too tight where
Right,
I
right,
can't allow these extra things that come in to help assist that.
right. Yeah, like I'm gonna make it happen. You don't want to get into that mode, right? Like
Right.
now we're
And I
chasing it,
have done
right?
that. So like it's true that you said there's something to that because I have done
Right,
that and
right, right.
I didn't like it.
Right, right. Because usually, even if it works, it's not satisfying at the end because you crash, right? And they're like, "Oh man, yeah, it's success, but this is burning me out," and all that stuff. So good. So you've got a loose plan on ways it could happen. Let's tune in. Let's take a little time to tune in, guys, for yourself if you're in a similar situation, and I'll tune in and. JClay, you could tune in too. Maybe a new idea drop in and during this podcast for you too. So let me just tune in and see what I'm getting with your energy and also directions for this. Okay, so the sense I get is with your talents with the spiritual rap, I feel like that's a bridge and it's like very logical, but what if you started to go to retreats and is that what you're doing at the retreat? Are you going to do spiritual rap at the retreat or no?
But not technically. I'm more teaching because this is one of the ones I'm actually putting on myself. Yeah.
You are putting it on yourself. Okay.
Right.
So okay, that I wasn't 1,000,000% clear on that. So good. I'm glad for that. And then but what I'm saying is like there are retreats where you could be. They're always looking to jazz things up at some of these retreats, right? So it's like, hey, I'd love to come to your retreat, and you find some kind of arrangement. I'd love to come in and just share from my heart from people. I do this spiritual rap. If you want to check it out here, listen and. Oh my God, it's so great. Oh my God, that'd be great. It'd be perfect at our event. And, why don't you come? Why don't you come? And then whatever the arrangement is, some people might give you a discounted price, come in. Some people might like whatever. There's all kind of arrangements, right? That can happen with that. But like, if there's stages where you could go where people are already gathered are looking to improve themselves, to awaken, that's like what came to me. Like just like a quick blip, like, okay, he just needs to go on stages, do his thing, and if you just even speak for 2 or 3, 5 minutes total on top of doing a little bit of singing, like, and this is what, yeah, this song's about the usual, right? And then, but at the end, you could unpack the song too. Now, what are people feeling? Oh, yeah, yeah, okay, cool. You could even, so you could, if they give you 15 minutes, you could do one or two songs, and you could get some speaking in. They could hear your wisdom too, rather than, well, I don't know, he's saying that. I don't know if he could coach me, right? But maybe you get some quick other stuff in or interactions and stuff. And then you just say, yeah, I work with people on a one-to-one basis. So, and here's how to, take that next step. Then we just need to find that easy mechanism for them to take that next step with you. And then I'm sure you'll have takers. There'll be people who would definitely be interested to talk to you. And they have to get that wisdom from you, like you were sharing on the show, like, oh, no thought, and wow, the way you put it, and like people are gonna be like, wow, that's what I want. So I think because when I sense in you, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but I think there's a little bit of like, well, this coaching's, I don't want it to go together so much, like, consciously or unconsciously, this is going on. I can feel it. I don't want the spiritual rap to be also the life coaching and this. I want to be recognized as a life coach, okay? A teacher, all right? I'm not just a rap guy, all right? Like I get a little of that vibe from you a little bit. So, but no, you should embrace all of it together and be willing to free flow between all of it. And even if you think you are, I'm saying like I can see it. Like I can see like there's a little bit of a divide in there. And so just to be willing to free flow between the two, realizing they both serve each other, really.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's a good point. Thank you. Because I'm thinking about that. Like, I guess I never realized I kind of divide the two when, yeah, even when I do my talking videos on YouTube, I will point to the coaching, and then when I do the music, I'll point to the music. I never cross and do both. So, yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Like it come off of one of those riffs that you do, like when you're just riffing a little bit live. I've seen that too. Like, oh, by the way, if you want to, have this result or that result, I do offer life coaching, by the way. And to take advantage of that, click on the thing in the description, whatever, the usual stuff, wherever they need to go. But like, like that, I would cross promote, basically.
Yeah.
Like it's a cross promotion. I mean, so it could be cross promotion. And then yeah, I mean, you always want to be talking about the rap stuff because the rap is just so helpful, and then the rap always can lead back into life coaching as well. So yeah, just connecting those two up, I think, would be very helpful. And then, what are you going to be charging for your program? Is always what I'd like to ask.
Yeah. So for the 12-week program, $8,000.
Okay, very nice. Okay, good. You're a real player then. You're not playing around. Good. Okay, so at $8,000, let's see. How many people do you want as do you ever thought like, yeah, I'd probably like X amount of clients maybe, or you don't know, but
Yeah. Well,
maybe
actually, I want to start with two people a month first, just to just to make sure I can give them the right attention and
right,
everything. And
right.
depending on how taxing or untaxing that is, I'll consider adding more.
Right, right. That's pretty good. So, yeah, like some people are charging way too little. I think that's a good price point for you for in-depth, program for very deep access and connection with you, especially is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
I'm here for you anytime. It's kind of a feeling I get around it anyway. And so that's great. I mean, if in 12 weeks, they can get to where they get in the quiet space and they're, what I like to say is like if I were pitching, like, because this is how I pitch what I do too, with some of my work is when I do doing clearing, for example.
Mhm.
I pitch it, I say pitch because you're pitching, whatever, you're making the offer, right? I always frame it this way. I'm like, I'm going for 100% transformation. Like you're unrecognizable. Like that's where I'm going for, right? But even if you transform 20%, wouldn't that be worth it to you? Like so you might have your own version of that. Like, boy, no thought. Imagine you could even quiet those thoughts down 25, 30%. How would that be? And you could have XYZ start happening in your life, like these sorts of qualitative results, not the specific result, right? The quality of joy and things are just happening and they're just so much lighter and people are people are just coming in and just giving you love more just out of the blue, and like you're like, what's happening, but you're welcoming it now, and like, but what is that worth to you, like just making the case, so I think being able to share that with people. And honestly, one of the things that people invest so much money in for is just this fact that they know they have a rock, someone that's a rock. It'll be a support to them no matter what's going on in their life. They know they'll have that, and that people will pay a really premium price for that type of service. So I think I just want to really give you kudos, because I've done a lot of that, at times where I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna work one to one, high level, and that's it. I don't want to do, because I can do that, what you're doing. And so of course I like your model.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So
And as you're talking, more ideas are
yeah,
flowing as well. Like
yes, yes,
when you said the 20% thing, I thought about like how that percentage, it depends on how aware they become. So it's like the first third of that is just one, it's creating the separation in a sense, even though I don't believe in separation, but the separation between their voice and their ego voice that they think is their voice,
right,
like really
right.
paying attention to what are true thoughts and what are not true thoughts. And that
Mm-hmm.
next part is practicing that awareness, like always being aware of that. And then the
Mm-hmm.
third part is just really living it, starting to embody that sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, of course, I mean, it's all about just a heart connection, and if they're it resonates for them to work with you. But like, yeah, we have to help the mind along sometimes by saying certain things that just help them to be like, okay, I'm just a little worried, or that's a what what if we? Because here's the secret, guys. Some people are just afraid to change so completely. Like it's the opposite of what you think. Maybe they don't believe it's going to work enough. Maybe I keep selling harder on the benefits, and they're like, "Oh my God, I'm really wondering." No, I'm really wondering about my ability to afford this now. And then if you lighten it, like, see, it works on both sides of their mind. What if you just changed 20%? Like even 20%, wouldn't that be awesome? Oh, okay, we're safe at 20%. Like,
But to your point, like a lot of people are so right, it's they're afraid to change because they believe that who they made themselves up to be is who they are.
right,
And because they invested so much time in this identity, they invested
right.
so much work in this thought system to even uphold this thought system, which is why they could be tired because they're upholding that which is not necessarily true. And so when you tell them like, hey, there's a better way to be, but you have to let go of this. Like if you want to give somebody a gift and their hand is closed, you have to open your hand and let go of what you're holding on to. That can be hard for a person because they've lived their entire life like this, and it that's all they know. And so it's kind of easing them through that transition as well.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, it's reassuring people that trust me, you won't want to go back to your old life once you're there, things like that. Or you can make a joke, I love making jokes. I'll be like, well, if we get to the end and you're like, I prefer my old life, we'll just put it back in, like, but you won't want to, so
Yeah,
don't
you
worry
won't.
about that. So, yeah. There's a lot we could do with that joke, really, to wicked people. I mean, let's change the world. Let's live from love and peace. Let's give it a try. If it doesn't work, we can always put in the old stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay, JClay, yeah, I would. So yeah, I mean, I'm tend to be more directive than let's wait for the answers to appear. I'm not saying you do that. I'm just saying like, so. But my active sense is like, um, is you just need to you probably just through networking, really. You just need to network with the people that do host retreats and things, or what events. Even it could just be an event online. It could be all kinds of different venues like that where these people gather that would want to work with you. It always comes back to that, but your special sauce that's going to bring them fast is the combination of the emotion and the energy they get from the song, and then the dropped in wow, wisdom they get from your energy when you start talking about things like you did today. where people are just like, wow, I want that. You speak that wisdom. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to tune into some other. So let me see if there's any other things on energy level that I see as maybe obstacles, like because I haven't really looked deeper into the energy. We'll do that briefly. Um, there might be a little bit of concern that people think you're just that you'll think. I'm sorry, not them, but your word that they'll think is what I meant. Like, oh, you're after my money, are you? Like, and so I get that like up in the chest and above, like energy going on with that. And let's see, let me look into that some more. Something about like, yeah, I don't want them to think I'm just a player, like just, trying to just, um, like they don't think I'm totally for real or something like that. Or, yeah, so something like that. Okay, let me look into some more stuff here. Yeah, it almost feels like, I get that image of like a big bird picking you up and flying you off. And, um, so it's almost like could some force like try to stop me, you know, um, you know, not want me to do this, and um, is that, so again, some of these are more subconscious. You may or may not, sense that this is true for you, but like this is what I'm seeing. Um, or maybe, and then the idea could come on eventually, like maybe this isn't even the right way to do this. Maybe we shouldn't even be doing this. So that's another thing to be mindful of, because sometimes spiritual people change their mind like underwear, right? I'm not saying you will. I'm just saying that happens. Like, oh, I don't know. I got this download today. It feels like maybe do this now. Like, they keep changing everything, and like, but then they may not want to complain, but they might start complaining. Oh my God, why is it so hard? Like, like, so let's see. Let's see. Energy going into your crown chakra is real nice. And there's openness in your crown chakra. Yeah, you've definitely, and so this is where you've been spending your time, is working on your energy. This is great. Yeah, because the throat feels good. You've been heart is good. Just like generally speaking, like I could always find stuff, but um, I think yours is going to be more again the lower chakra stuff, like really standing in your power to be as visible and as potent as you could be. So really clearing through that more in your solar plexus. And also there is part of you that wants to hide, is what I see in the sacral chakra. Like, um, well, when I'm called upon, I'll be there, like, whereas like, when you're in your authority energy, like, okay, I'm not only here and available. I'm ready to go. I'm ready. I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to flow with the bold actions that I'm being asked to take, because my sacral is but there's a little bit of conflict in there where some of the energy might be like, yeah, let's chill out a little bit, like, so we have to just be mindful that that's some of that is wisdom, but sometimes it's just a check out, like, just check out for now. Sure, good things are coming, and the hopefulness. So if you're like getting a hopeful sort of with the little thoughts you have, right, you start getting more in the hopeful vibe. That's tends to mean like it's not really, things aren't really unfolding properly. It's more like you said, with intentional stuff, but like with boldness. Like, I'm going to show up in a big way. Um, because I mean, I don't know. As black man or whatever, like sometimes there is that concern, like I'm a spiritual man, I don't want to, I'm always seen it as this way or that way when conditioned, right? So it's like, no, I'm a big presence, I'm powerful, but yes, of course, I'm love, I'm a beautiful presence, of course, you're radiating that, people can see that, but it show up more powerfully and fully as who you are, which means your voice might get a little sharper, a little stronger, it's still beautiful. And then yeah, so there's just some of the energy things that I'm just noticing going through the energy field. But like, man, those first your first few chakras, wow, like it's just in the lower chakras more so, where I see more of the encumbrance. It doesn't mean you don't have any in the other ones. It's just I see it more in the lower chakras. So that's some of the ones I wanted to hit on. Uh, Sometimes it doesn't always resonate, but like, what did resonate?
Yeah, it resonates. It's spot on. Thank you.
Okay.
Because yeah, and I'll just say this about I've been told about my lower chakras as well, and so like one thing about me that I'm seeing that I'm being led away from in a sense is I like just being at home. I like
Right, right, right.
I like just being in my energy. But like this past month, all of February, I was called to just be a presence and be helpful in so many ways. And I did it. I mean, I did it without complaint. I did
Nice.
it happily. I did it in the best of my
Right.
ability. But then the first week of March, I was done. I was like, I
Right.
gotta go back in my quiet space. And so, but I'm getting better at being out there and being that present. So thank you for bringing that up as well. Yeah.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you I don't know, part of your energy does want to be like perpetually in motion, though, is what I sense. Like, no, just keep going, keep going. And so my guess is, like, even if I was an intuitive sleuth, even though I sort of am, is like something went astray with that. I get, man, but then it led to this, and then it led to that, so it led to problems, is why the energy, like, no, oh my God, let's get back home before it goes too far. And so maybe what you need to realize is like things are different now. Things are different. Like you're not the same person you were before. You'll know you trust yourself to be able to, find that solitude, those moments, that connection or whatever, like to do those things like more naturally rather than like, oh my God, am I going to be too much? So I need to get back home. Like, like so yeah, just trust it. But it's good for you, that you kind of I don't know if you push through, but sort of. You push through that latest round of getting out there and like but realize like you're a different person now. It's not going to come out it's not going to be the same way energetically as it was before. Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Thank you. Seriously, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. That'll help grow your business. All that stuff will help you grow your business. Realize the value you have. You really do. I feel like the way I watched the way you were talking today, you got stronger as the show went on with your wisdom bombs. They really are there. So I think the more you get on more stages and speak more, it's going to come more even better. It'll get even sharper and stronger. Not that you don't have it. I'm just saying like it's totally there. It's just like I think like it's still you're not as strong and clear until you got to kind of get your rhythm going is what the sense I had today.
Yeah.
So like the more you work on that, man, like yeah, you're like wow when once you get in that place, people are really connect with you. Yeah. Yeah.
Appreciate it. I really do. Like, thank you.
Yeah.
And
You
it reads 444 right now on my clock, so is a to me that's a sign of just beautifulness.
awesome. Yeah, so everybody, yeah, yeah, boy, the time has flown by. We're having such a good time here. All right, so JClay, where can people check you out? We probably should have done that earlier, but go ahead and share that with everybody where people can reach out to you and check you out.
Yeah, so on my website, jclay.org, that's jclay.org, you can find all my music, all my social media. You can contact me through the site, through email, through any of that. And even the coaching is jclay.org/coaching. So just reach out. I answer everything. I'm happy to help. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. For people who want to check me out, you just go to yoursacredpurpose.com and I got a meditate and make money meditation. So why not do it the easy way? Just go ahead and ask your guidance, what wants to happen. It's amazing. Just even the energy attunement you get through the meditation is really helpful for your overall energy anyway, and just become more of a magnet for everything that wants to happen. So you can get that for free at yoursacredpurpose.com. If you want energy scanning from me, definitely get the gift because before you know it, you'll see something pop in your email box. One of these days, I'll be like, hey, I'm offering some energy scans or this or that. And you'll definitely want to take advantage of those when they come up because I do offer the opportunity for you to get them in a very affordable level. because I just love doing energy scans. So I'm constantly looking for more opportunities to serve you guys. So anyway, you can check all that out at yoursacredpurpose.com. All right. So JClay, I'm so grateful to have had you on. You're so awesome. I'm so grateful for it. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for your spiritual gifts, your wisdom as well. Thank you. Yeah.
And thank you to our audience. Keep on tuning in. We'll keep on rocking here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Till the next time, everybody. Bye for now. For listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Wednesday and Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.